let's welcome our Macy Matarazzo with Big Happy Love to talk to us about how in the heck we can find our human.
Human finding, yay. I'm just so happy to be here. I love that we get to do this. Honestly, there is so much I want to share with you, and I'm trying not to like have a complete like spaz attack around it. Like, but I do have so many tips available for you. So it is really helpful to hear from you right now, like share, like if you could have anything out of this class, what would it be? I mean, we asked the question, you know, putting that in the comments is going to be really helpful because I'll go check that in a bit and that'll help me to integrate things in for you. If we haven't met, my name is Macy. I am the CEO of Big Happy Love Coaching for single women, and also the creator of the Super Love System. And today we're here talking about dating. And obviously this is the gateway to love. You can't skip this step. You can't, like in business, you may be able to say, hey, I'm not going to be on Twitter. That doesn't work for me. You can't skip dating if you want to find the one. So I'm just grateful that you're here so that I can help you with this, because I know that there's probably many of you out there, you know, wondering, well, can you even date right now with the pandemic? How do you do that? Or some of you may be saying, I don't want to try so hard. I want to find love organically. Like, how can we do this organically? How many times do I hear that? And so I will be ripping off a few Band-Aids right out the gate. And one of them is that connecting online is organic now because it's 2021. And that's the way a lot of us are meeting in all of the aspects of our business and our life, even for our health. There's telehealth. I mean, it's all there. So what would be possible for you if you could let go of this need to be in, I have to find love organically, that doesn't include any of the online things? And what would be possible if you could learn some tips and strategies to actually make it fun? Can you imagine? Like, what if this could be fun and easy? And that really is my goal for you. The other piece that I want to address is, you know, sometimes I know for me, when I was really trying so hard to figure all this out, and I eventually like did get some help. I mean, I guess I should share briefly my story. I mean, I was a child of the 70s. I grew up with only a sister, no brothers. My parents were very strong in saying, you know what, you're a woman, you can have it all, and really giving us a great message. And at the same time, I was hearing, you know what, Prince Charming just shows up. You just look pretty and there it comes, you know? And so there was this conflicting message between, you know, being that the woman that has it all and, you know, also wanting, you know, Prince Charming to just show up. And so I spent my 20s and my 30s climbing that corporate ladder and achieving a lot of amazing things. I had a couple houses. I had a 6-figure job. I really had the confidence that really any job I wanted, I could get. And I just grew. And I woke up one day in my 40s and was the only single one of my friends and felt really bad about that. It was a point where I recognized that I really do want to have a person. I want my person. I want to share my life with a person. I want to grow. I want to be on the porch, you know, talking about these kids, you know, and doing all the things that I imagined old people in love do. And so that was when I decided to figure this out. And I can tell you just from that moment, it was like something locked in. It was like something different happened in the way that I made this declaration and this demand to figure it out. And as I went out there and looked for resources and how do you date online? How do you navigate the modern dating world? It was not easy. And I did reach out to coaches and teachers of mine and, did a lot of deep inner work to get to what it was that was holding me back. And, there were a lot of things. There was basically programming from my family and from TV shows and movies and all of the things that tell us, what love is. And, there's a lot of places where I felt wrong and broken and not good enough. And I was masking it with all of this other success. And there was a lot of things that had to shift for me before I could actually receive something greater. So yes. Okay. So then, I got to a place where I got really clear. I was dating in a way that was super fun. I really had like this joy about me, and I call it playing into love. And this formula that I discovered within 3 months, I met my husband. And within 3 months after that, we were engaged. And I certainly am not promising that, but there really is something super powerful that can happen when you actually claim your love story. And so I want you to know, I'm telling that story, hopefully that gives you some inspiration, but I also want you to know that there's nothing wrong with you. There's absolutely nothing wrong with you. This is about getting past the lies and the beliefs and the barriers that we've collected. You, as you, are absolutely lovable. And this class right now is, part of the love story, is part of the, contribution to what can bring you to your love story. So if there's anywhere, so this is, I do these questions with my private clients all the time. So I'm going to ask you a yes or no question and really answer it. Okay. So if there's anywhere right now that you feel like you're broken or a failure, or you should already know this stuff, will you please destroy and uncreate it now? Yes or no? And when I say destroy and uncreate, I just mean just let that go. Like release it from your consciousness right now, because that's not going to help you. And to have a good relationship means having good relationship skills. And what most people don't know is that it's not like everybody who's coupled out there has had it really easy. It's not like easy for everyone else, but not you. You're not an exception. And so, having the relationship that's in your heart is extra. Like I do like to call it unicorn love, because it's the kind of love you never thought could exist, but it does. So, yeah. So if you're thinking it's easy for everyone else and not you, that's not true. If you want something great, you learn about it. Same with everything else. That's what I learned in my life, is that, as I learned to climb the corporate ladder, did that just happen? Did they just go, oh, I'm going to promote you? No, I learned new skills. I went to career counselors. Like I did a lot to develop myself to get there. It's really the same with relationships. And it doesn't have to be hard or terrible. Okay, I'm so excited that you guys have been writing in the comments. So I just want to take a minute to share. Okay. I'd like to find the right one for me. It's time. Recently divorced and have no idea where to start. Love that. Tell us, was that, Barbara, for me or for everyone else? Maybe that was for everyone else. I'm confident and I feel like I'm a catch, but I can't seem to find someone who agrees. Okay. I just ended a 10-year relationship and haven't dated for so long. I've forgotten how. Yeah. Plus, I want to approach it in a different way this time. Yay! That's true. Oh, that's Jess. Yay, Jess. Totally. Yeah. A couple short relationships under my belt, but haven't found the one. Haven't dated for a while. Focus on building my business. Okay.
I feel like some of us feel like we're unicorns too. I'm finding that I'm not the only one that may not have even found love. And I felt like I was a unicorn in that way at 54. I've been close, but I realized it wasn't love. And I'm realizing that some of the women here have said the same. And I know friends who have even been married and didn't, when they realized they weren't even in love. So they're looking for that.
Yeah.
So I'm just kind of thrilled I'm not the only one.
So this is a great place for me to ask this next question, because we're going to, in this class, I want to share with you a couple like energetic tools. And now I'm kind of seeing your questions and I will integrate as best as I can. And then I would like to have some time at the end for some questions and answers. So the first question I want to pose to all of you, and you can put it in the comments actually for this. What have you decided that dating is? What have you decided that modern dating is? So in asking yourself that question, it's like, okay, what are you declaring about that? Are you like, oh, they're all scammers online. Oh, you know, it's just too hard. It's, you know, whatever. What are you saying to yourself? Post those in the comment. Men holding fish. Oh, that's hilarious. Yeah, okay. I mean, I will say, I mean, that's hilarious. And I know there's some people here from Colorado. If you've ever dated in Colorado, you'll know that there's a lot of pictures of men at the top of the mountain with the, right, Jess? Jean, you probably know too. Like, just, you know, we can get into these definitions. Too difficult, especially now. So yeah. So right now, yeah, we're in a pandemic.
Perfection, yeah.
What?
Perfection, somebody said, and also dating younger.
You mean men dating younger?
Men dating younger, yeah. And by the way, this is LGBTQ everything. So I just want to make sure we're talking humans overall.
Yes. And if I slip and say man or guy, it's only because I may be referring to my story, but I actually support all relationships. So
yeah, me too.
Yeah. So yeah, too picky about what we should be, too adult, as strange as that sounds. That's fun. Dating has a tendency to be like an interview and not a conversation.
Yeah.
Creeps online. Okay. So everybody got your journal? Raise your hand or get a piece of paper. So we're going to start our process because, and before we even jump into that, are you willing to just be with this, to let go of the stories? Well, are you willing to receive this class and just draw a line in the sand for yourself that this gets to be a new beginning for your love story? Like, can you let this time tonight? And I like to pretend like I'm drawing a line in the sand that, okay, now that was the past, we're moving forward now. So even just doing this gesture in your space, draw a line in the sand. So that means I should see your finger moving across the screen. Pretend like you're moving your finger in the air and draw a line in the sand. And just doing that is a decision for something different. Do you feel that? Yes or no? Wave if you feel that. Yes. Okay, cool. So we're drawing a line in the sand and getting your piece of paper out. Go ahead and draw a circle on the piece of paper. And I like to do a pretty big one so that you have some room. Like, I'm doing this. Okay. And if you can see in the comments, there may be some of those that resonate with you about what you've decided dating is. And it may even bring up some things about your own experience. Like, oh, wow, that actually happened to me. Oh, that's what it is. Oh, yeah, I've had creeps. Oh, you know what? Yeah, I don't feel good enough, looking for skinny bodies, like all of these things. So in that, also be aware of the stories that you're coming into this class with. Also be aware of the history, the relationships that didn't work out, how all of the things that are bugging you. So really consider, okay, what's bugging you? And start writing some of those things in this circle. And when you write these things in the circle,
bugging us about dating, the things that we just put in. Okay.
Yeah, those things and other things. So it may be, that's like what we've decided about dating, but there may be things like, oh, like, I keep dating the same kind of guy,
and that goes inside the circle.
Yeah, just start jotting some things down in the circle. It's a little container, it's like a bowl. And put some of those things in there. You may actually even have aware of just something like this, which is like, ugh, like, oh, if you have something that's like, oh, and you're like, I don't have a word for it, oh, just put like a squiggly mark or something. Just put something that's like, oh, right? Translate as best you can. Oh, yay. Hey, there's a lot of great people that I know from classes. Awesome. Translate that little as a squiggle or something else, whatever works for you in your circle.
And again, it's what we think about when it comes to dating.
Anything that bugs you about dating. Okay. All of the things, all of the energies, all of the thoughts, all of the stories, all of the, technology things that, anything that bugs you, put it in the circle. And the sort of little thing actually becomes a catch-all for anything that you may have forgotten. And that if you think of it later, like, I should have put that in the circle. You did. When you put the "ul" in there, you put it in. So once you have all of that in your circle, this is a time when I want to do a little special clearing. So what you don't know is all of you, hopefully, well, I see people writing still, so I'll just, so as you're writing this stuff in the circle, what you don't know about the magic that I be is that I've attached your little circles like pipes into my own spiritual release tool. And so once we're just going to take a moment to release it so you can see my spiritual tool is a circle. So we got the circle. So it's and so just notice those things in that circle. And on the count of 3, we're just going to release those things. 1, 2, 3. Put the lid down. Yeah. So that is just a bonus. I usually charge a lot more for that. Anyway, so we're not done with this exercise. I just wanted to share with you my ancient secret, right? So looking at the circle, we're going to do a little mini meditation. And this is about actually letting your body know that you are really moving into a new reality. How many of you would like to move into a different reality around dating? Raise your hand. Okay. So how many of you agree that the things in this circle are not helping you? Raise your hand. Okay. There's a couple hands that aren't up. Like, type in the comments if there's something missing for you. So to do this, this is a definition. So we're talking about right now, tip number 1 is no definition. Is that backwards or can you read that? Okay. So it's no definition. So we want to get past what we've decided up until now, because what we've decided up until now is what's in our head. And that's the only place we can go. When we are asking for something greater, I saw a couple of you said, you know, you would like to meet your person this year, that you would like to meet your unicorn. You want to have your person. You're here. And I'm imagining that, well, I already know that none of you would have a problem getting a date. We're not talking about a date. We're not talking about like a hookup, which is whatever. That's a whole nother conversation with the pandemic. But anyway, I know you're not talking about that. You're talking about wanting to have someone who you can share your life with.
But Macy, I think for a lot of us, it is about not being able to find someone to date, not being able to have somebody swipe right on us and take us out, you know, and
I'm just saying that you could get a date if you wanted, but the bar probably isn't that low. I'm just saying, if you wanted a date, you could get one. We're talking about a higher caliber situation here. So anything that, and we are going to create the space for you to have better dates. This is what we're doing today. So anything from the past, let's just acknowledge that this isn't working. This isn't fun. This isn't ease. This isn't love. This is probably not what you want more of. Is that true? Okay. Okay, so now to let our body know, we're going to do a little process where we're going to touch that and acknowledge that that was then. And guess what? Then was at 6:30, 3 minutes ago. Like, you just did this and we are already in a new place. So that was then. And so you touch the circle. So rehearse with me, like taking your finger, touching that circle and saying to it, that was then. And then coming to your body, to your heart, and go, this is now. And really tap your body. You want to feel that. And we're going to do this multiple times. We're going to do it probably 20 times. I know that sounds like a lot. It's not. And then I invite you to do, that was then, this is now, to your heart. And you can also do, that was then, this is now, to your head. So, you know, I like to kind of go back and forth, but do whatever works for you. So let's begin. So as you look at that, experience that energy and go, that was then, and this is now. That was then, this is now. Bring reverence to it, feel it. That was then, this is now. 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 Let's do 3 more. That was then, this is now. That was then, this is now. That was then, this is now. And just take a moment, close your eyes, connect in, just noticing your body arriving here and now, arriving in this new space, arriving in this place of looking towards possibility, looking towards a new reality of consciousness with love and dating that is the magnetic space that you get to have, starting with this class and saying yes to that. And on the next breath, if your eyes are closed, bring your eyes open and just arriving here and just taking a moment to look around in your space from this energy of you consciously starting here and now. And notice how that feels. Notice how you sense it. And say, yes, I'm different. Wow, I'm different. If you don't acknowledge it, it doesn't exist. And I know that when we're doing these kinds of classes, we're coming here to have a change. And I'm here because I'm committed to you having a change in this class. So how was that? All right, we're going to keep going because there's some things. So now I'm going to invite us to do a little breakout room. And the breakout room question for you is, what would you love? What would you love in your love relationship? And really consider, what is that experience I want to have with my person? Try to stay away from, I need someone taller than me. I don't want a bald one. You know, that kind of stuff that is less the experience and not ultimately, it doesn't really matter right now. So what is that experience? You want to dance with your person, you want to travel with this person, what are your values, what would you love? And just take, what do you say, Barbara, can we do like 2 minutes each? Just share a few, just popcorning out. I love what Jess wrote. She said, I'd like a deeply fulfilling relationship with a conscious, funny, intelligent man who's a phenomenal cook. Ding, that's smart. Deeply compatible, physically attracted, like the growth, the kindness, the collaboration, all of that was beautiful. Yeah. Yeah, everyone's like, yeah, that sounds good. I'll order 2 of those or 20. I'm feeling the love. I really am. I'm actually feeling the energy of your love stories through the computer. And this is really our tip 2, like activating that love attraction. So attracting your person, like turning on that love attraction with the energy of your love story. And I totally get that those doubts and those fears can want to come in, and they can come in, and sometimes they can feel so real and take over and the old story, but we did flush that. You know, we flushed a lot of that. So as we're tuning into our love story, you're going to want to remind yourself that as those lulls from the past arise, that you come back to this. That was then, this is now. So that's your tool, their consciousness tool to continue to stay on course. Because this energy right here, and we're going to do a little practice right now, this energy is the energy of your love story. Yes. Okay. So right now, just tuning into that. So whatever it is that was stirring in your heart, the laughter, the connection, the kindness, the, you know, the little things, that sense of, wow, so great. I don't have to figure out everything in my life. I don't have to figure out how to get fucking leaves out of the drainer thing along the roof. Like, what, you know? Like, you don't have to figure it all out. The energy of that, like that part. So really tuning in right now, closing your eyes if you're comfortable doing that, bringing your hands to your heart, and just being aware of your love story in the qualities that are there and just the energy of it. You don't have to actually go into more details. You don't have to figure this out. You don't have to figure out who he is or how to get him, like, or her. And just being aware of your person and your love story in your heart right now. And as you sense that in your body and in your being, begin to sense all of the love, all of the ways you perceive love coming into your world. So as you're aware of your love story, become aware of receiving love right now and noticing how it feels to receive love. So noticing as I'm speaking, noticing where to receive love, noticing what direction it's coming from. And you may sense it coming from front of you. You may sense it coming from above you. You may sense it coming from the sides or below or something else. But right now, whatever you're sensing, invite your body and your being to turn on all of the directions and just noticing what it's like to be in what I like to call a love shower, where you're receiving love as you're activating this love story in your heart. You activate the channels of receiving and you begin to sense your body relaxing into receiving it from all different directions. And if you notice like anxiety or doubts coming up, just do a little, that was then, this is now, that was then, this is now. And with each breath, just receiving love coming from all the different directions. And as you receive it coming into your body, it strengthens your love story. Because as you receive the love coming in, you begin to receive and sense and perceive all of the contributions from the cosmos, from the universe, from ancestors, from friends, from people you don't even know, from trees, from birds, from Mother Earth, from the elements, the air, the fire, all of the things, like all of the planet begins to contribute to your love story. And just noticing how that feels. And right now, in this experience, tell yourself, like speak to that love story and say, I'm having that. And say it out loud in your space. I'm having that. So whereas in the past, you may have been hoping for it. Maybe you've been wishing for it, or maybe you've been wanting it, which when we're wanting it, we just continue to keep it outside of us. So right now, as you experience the love story within you, say, I'm having that. And just as a little fun little add-on, you can say, I'm having that. No doubt about that. I'm having that. No doubt about that. I'm having that. No doubt about that. I'm having that. And as you're here connected to your love story right now, the energy, the frequency, the consciousness of love, activating it, know that your person, your human exists. And anywhere where your body has decided that, oh, it has to decide if it exists or have to figure out if your person exists, know that that's a lie. Because if you have the desire for your love story, you have the love story. The love story is available to you. So letting go of any of those kinds of stories that say, well, can I have it? It's irrelevant conversation. You do not have to argue with consciousness, and your desire is consciousness. So once again, saying, I'm having that, I'm having that, I'm having that. And on the next breath, returning back into the space. And as your eyes open, noticing what's different now. Noticing what's different now that you've asked for it. And remembering, simply put, You wouldn't go into a restaurant and just want a cheeseburger, you know? You don't sit there wanting your cheeseburger. You go, you know what? I'm having a cheeseburger. I will have the cheeseburger. Thank you very much. So that is the truth. That is the truth of the love stories, that 95% of the people who are wanting love are just wanting it and wishing. And I mean, that's why I have a whole business around this because in this, there's a lot of aspects of this that can hold us back. There's a lot of things that we can do, you know, with your profile, with, you know, your emotional space. So message me, please. We'll have a conversation because we're not going to have time to like go through so many things in our life we're not actually asking for. So that is, you know, one of the first things you want to do. So the first thing we did was we did some clearing. We kind of let go of some of the definitions, some of the stuff we've demanded, and yeah, but no, really, online dating is this way. We've let some of that chatter go. Now we've stepped into our love story. We've activated the love vibe. So in the way you can use this practically is every day, you know, for 30 seconds, turn on your love shower. I bet you might be taking a shower during the day or not. But maybe you are every day. And when you do that, can you like use that time for a second to sense and perceive love coming in from all the directions to open up those channels of receiving? And when you can do that, love attracts love, and that's, you know, a really big part of the law of attraction. So awesome.
Macy, do you ever I'm sure you have men as clients. What are you hearing from men that they want? Are they saying sort of what we're saying and we're all just missing each other, you know, like this? Or and women, what are you hearing from their side? If we're saying all these things, what are they saying?
Okay, I love
Curious.
that you're asking this question because
Anybody else curious about that?
They really are saying the same thing. And, you know, we're all unique. We are all unicorns. You know, there's people who are, you know, have done the work. There are people who are smart. There are people who are not as smart. There are people who are active. There are people who aren't active. I mean, we have to remember there's a whole variety of people. There's also a lot of really great men who are crappy daters. And, you know, it is I mean, we're not all great at it either. That's why we're doing this thing. But I will say that, you know, women are more likely to seek out personal development than men are. But I don't want you all to give up on that just because they're not. It's just keep in mind, men have the same insecurities about dating and dealing with online, and they have even more pressure because they feel pressure. They tell me they feel pressured to reach out, to be the one that has to reach out. And I will say, you know, here's a quickie tip that, you know, women can reach out online, you know, and you can be the sort of drop the hanky energy of, oh, wow, you seem interesting. And what can happen when you have a great online profile and you're actually being able to represent you as you, because I'll tell you, you know, people show me their online profiles and they're bad. I mean, I really rarely have someone who comes to me and I'm like, yay, good job. We have nothing to do here. And so that is something to learn. I will say that is something to learn because it is hard to write about yourself. It's awkward. It's weird. You know, there was a bunch of questions that I got ahead of class about like, how do I write about politics? How do I write about sexuality? Like, how do I share myself on this? How do I, you know, what do I say? Like those kinds of questions. I mean, that is an entire class. And most of the time that's a private session because, you know, we want to be able to match you with the words and the energy and all of that. So I hope I answered your question. The thing is, yeah, there's some really good guys out there. They're having the same challenges online as you are. And so can we come to this in a new energy of, okay, let's have fun. These are just other humans on a software platform. Let's just really break it down for what it is. Because how many of us have made online dating? Because I did. I made online dating like the devil, you know? And it's like, this is not, it's not like a devil, it's not a rapist, it's not a scammer, it's a software system with humans in it that also want love or something. And yeah, are there scammers? Yes, there are, you know. Okay, great. Guess what? There's scammers at the DMV, there's scammers, you know, on Facebook, there's scammers, you know, in King Supers. Like, they're everywhere. Like, and it's up to us to be able to raise our emotional wellness to the place where we can navigate this without making everything significant. So if you're going out there and you're going, oh my God, I met 3 people who then told me later that, you know, they got separated 3 months ago. Oh my God, I feel like that was such a scam. Well, it's just their situation. You don't have to choose it. And you also get the choice to not go into trauma and drama about it. It's really huge. And I got to be careful because I could go off on this forever.
No, I love what Susan just asked, because I think a lot of us were thinking that. What are your top 3 platforms? Because I think some of us would have never guessed we would have hit the OurTime time period.
Right. So, you know, you want to match your online dating platform with who you are. And so, okay, let me just start again.
Break it down.
First of all, it's not as much about the online dating platform than you think. You know, this isn't a story about, I have to get the right platform. There are basic ones that I will direct you to. I will say, you know, for our age group, you know, Match.com is really good for that. Match.com is really good for our age group. And the reason why I say that is because it's been around for a long time. It's kind of the go-to. Remember, we are women, and if we are a woman looking for a man, you have to recognize men are not going to spend, you know, 3 weeks researching online platforms to figure. They're going to go, where are they? Yeah, okay, I'm going to go there. Like, there's a little more of a direct line. So, you know, I would say, you know, OurTime, if you're drawn to it, there's Silver Singles, there's OkCupid, there's Match.com. The differences that I see is there are online dating platforms that are actual online dating sites that they may have a component that's an app, but something like Match.com, there's a lot more space to share yourself. So I'm guessing that everyone in this room is looking for someone that is more conscious, that's got their shit together, that's stable, that's interesting. And if you're going to a platform where you can only write like a sentence and then it's 12,000 photos, then that is the person that you're going to. You know, it doesn't mean that there's not intelligent people on there. I'm just saying, consider that first. So I like Match.com because you can share yourself. There's some amazing search features. I do some matchmaking with my clients where I'll go on their site and help them pick out people they may not have picked out before. So that's part of what I like to do with my private clients, because there's a lot of cool features there. Yes. Are there any conscious dating sites? Well, there's Meet Mindful, but here's the thing. Like, I wouldn't get hung up on that. I haven't had a lot of people have that much luck with Meet Mindful because, and I'm not dissing it. You have to experience it for yourself if you're drawn to it. The design is great. The functionality is good. It's just that I encourage people to go to a generic site and then you can search within that. Within Match, you can search meditation, you can search consciousness, you can search these things, you can search travel, you can search things that will kind of bring those people to the top. In the end, it's not about the dating site ultimately. If you're finding that dating is frustrating and hard, and some of these exercises that I just shared with you are bringing up, more awareness that it's challenging for you, then, I would say, let's have a conversation, because so let's talk. Barbara talks about, I do want to talk about Bumble, Tinder, Coffee Meets Bagel. Bumble, for example, is one where the women initiate. So if you're the kind of woman who's looking for a, really masculine guy who initiates, then you might not want to use Bumble, because it's not really matching that energy. I mean, you can try it. I've had a lot of people love it. So, I'm just saying, this is the kind of awareness I invite you to have around these things.
Do we want to just open it up to Q&A and everybody unmute maybe and chat?
Yeah, definitely. That's
How do we feel about that? Because I'm sure there's some questions here.
So there's a little more around the site. So somebody's asking about eHarmony. Sure, try it. I mean, I'm just telling you some basic guidelines. In general, I would just say go to the ones where people are. I mean, and not make it about that. Typically, it's more about how you're feeling about yourself. Hello. Am I back? Typically, it's more about how you're feeling about yourself, the consciousness that you have around dating, and how you're expressing yourself in your profile is a pretty big deal, because that's the impression that you're making. And the other thing is learning some skills to connect and being able to be online without going on this roller coaster thing. If you're not attracting people on a site, then, I saw somebody said that. And so, it would be worth looking at your pictures, looking at what you wrote, looking at if it's different enough. Because if you don't have anything in your profile that can give, let's say, give your human the confidence to reach out to you. So consider this. If you write, yeah, I'm a really good person and I'm healthy and I like my job, like, the person is like, there's a million ways I could probably screw this up, because, like, what does, like, he could say, oh, I'm healthy too, I put lettuce on my double cheeseburger, and you're like, no, I drink green smoothies. Like, there's like a mismatch. Like, you're not helping them find you. So what can you do to be that hook for your special person?
Okay. Chris asked, do you help with profiles?
I've done like online profile, like makeovers and reviews before, that, that can be helpful, because it is weird writing about yourself. And when I do it for my private clients, I basically interview them and write it in their voice. Like, I'm actually typing as they're talking so that I can put it all together, and it's their voice. I create the profile, we curate the pictures, and but the emotional part, the inner work, is everything. So Barbara says,
how do we fight against the date range? That's a couple of people have PM'd me, direct messaged me about that guys are putting in certain date ranges that we don't even fit now, because they're looking for younger.
Are you talking about
age range? Sorry, age range.
Okay. Here's the thing. I mean, people are going to be people. They're going to do their thing. Everybody gets to want what they want, and you get to want what you want. So if you go through the whole system and go, oh, there's another one. Oh yeah, what a perv. Like, oh yeah, figures, if you're going into that and letting that story become a problem, guess what you get to have? A problem. So what is the possibility? The possibility is to be like, okay, who's out there that's fun for me? And yeah, you're looking for a special person. It's not going to be all the people, but I know that when I'm working with people and we make these shifts, inner shifts, and then because the first phase of my work is about doing the inner work. It's everything. And then the second phase is having that authentic dating strategy, which is all of the stuff we're talking about. The third phase is like, hey, I met someone, I don't want to screw it up, so let's get some foundational pieces. So, you know, this is not for wimps. You know, if you really want to like get to the source of some of these things, it's a thing. I mean, we don't learn about relationship our whole life and then we're like wondering why we feel bad about it. Well, you know, I'm proud of all of you for being here and being willing to learn something different. So
well, Macy, why don't we start just seeing if anybody has any questions, and if you have a homework assignment for us so that we can maybe start using the practices that you gave us. We could challenge each other.
I think that's really good. Yep.
So Mary Jo had a good one. I like this about if you put that you travel and add pictures of when and where you were, that seems to get a lot more hits. Oh my God, the date range between 19 and 99, that always cracks me up too. Or the age range, I mean.
Default or something.
Yeah. Does anybody have one last question before she gives us our homework or something to do that we can move on it? All right, Macy, what do you want to leave us with?
Okay, I'm just looking at the last couple of questions. Somebody said about the visual. Most of us are visual learners. Yeah. Oh, go ahead.
My question is, I've been heard that on the profiles you should stay within 2 or 3 paragraphs. That's not really a lot of stuff to tell people about you. So I know you and me did one, but I kind of cut it down because, you know, I was looking at I don't go in and look at the women's. I find that's too complicated to do. But what do you think? What do you think about that?
Yeah, well, I would say really, there are no rules here. You know, I would say, do you, share you, like that's the most important thing. Like, who is that that's saying there's only 2 paragraphs? You're not a 2-paragraph woman. None of you are.
I just wondered if they're even reading the profiles. That's what I wonder. Do they just look at the pictures and then move on? That's the feeling I get.
There's a lot of people who do. And you know what? Yay for all of us. You know, it's okay if that's the case. So I want you to know that when you put yourself out there are going to be all of these people. There are going to be people who look at all of you guys, all of you. You're going to get the hey baby, I obviously didn't read my profile. Oh, maybe he's shirtless in the bathroom squirting Hershey syrup on his chest. And you're going to be like tempted. I know you're going to be tempted to call everyone on the screen and to go, oh my God, this is what happened to me. This is what happened to me. And then you're going to go into the spiral downward. Well, I'm encouraging you to, that was then, this is now, all that. Because guess what? That's okay. Like, you're looking for your special person, stay on course, stay on course. You know, if they write you, that's okay. That's adorable. That's adorable. Hershey syrup is, you know, and just have fun with it. Because the more you can be in the space of, you know what, here's my tip for all of you. Like, how you love your life is your love life. That's the mantra. How you love your life is your love life. That means that you're aligning with your values. You're doing those things that light you up. You're connecting with women and animals and friends and people and communities that are fun for you. And then you're getting the support you need. If you need support in your love life, get it. You know, this is the most sacred thing we can have as a human on the planet. And we never learn it. And then we feel like crap if we have a failed relationship, and then that becomes a thing. And so the story goes. Like, if you want something great, are you willing to actually get to the bottom of this? And the processes I do one-on-one are really the things that I see expedite everything and change it for good. So I encourage you to do that. And so somebody says, I go directly to height only because I'm 5'11". And so, yeah, I hear you. And I would say, you know, what else is possible there? You know, if I can understand you may not want to date someone who's 5'4", but you know, what if your guy was a couple inches shorter and treated you like a queen and everything that you wanted energy wise was there? I know these things are, but being able to like laser focus on that as the first thing is probably not helping you as much as, okay, what are these other things? And you can use the search fields to play with that. I mean, if that's going to be your thing, you get to have that thing. I just recognize, like, can you mostly focus on your values and what really matters to you and sharing yourself? And hopefully that was helpful. And then, okay, so are there any other questions that I missed? If you have a question, just speak out loud. And did that help you, Deborah? Yeah, okay.
Awesome. Well, we want to thank you guys all for coming. Macy, would you happen to have anything special you'd like to offer them? Like, do you have any specials for them, maybe to do a one-on-one?
Yeah, I mean, I'm really feeling like that's probably the best thing that we can do. It sounds like a lot of people have questions around, you know, online stuff. I would encourage you, if you really want to change your love status, to reach out to me. And that's a complimentary call. That's something that we can just set up a time. I have you fill out a form so I know more about you. And I can't say that that call fixes everything. It's not really about that. It's about consulting on what else, you know, would be helpful for you. The other thing that I have two things. One thing that I'm so excited about. This was what the news story was about. And it, you know,
yeah.
For Valentine's Day, I partnered with the El Paso Zoo. I donated money from my company to support the zoo, and in exchange, they're doing a really fun thing with us. That is, I bought a lot of cockroaches, and they are to be named after something. So I'm gifting every one of you a cockroach, and you can name it. The thing happens to be called Name It After Your Ex, and then it'll be fed to meerkats on Valentine's Day, which is a very cathartic, very powerful healing experience. And I'm not making a joke about this. This is like legit. This is what our brain and our body actually love for release. So I'm gifting all of you one. I will post the link to sign up for one. It says it's a raffle, but just know that all of you get one. And if you're like, I don't have an asshole ex I need to name it after, yay for you. Yay for you. And you could use it for something else. You could use it for
a former boss or something, or a bad
it doesn't
client.
have to be a person. I have clients who, one of them's naming it overthinking. Another person was naming it people pleasing. Another, you know, is naming it something else. Like, so whatever you want, please do use it though, because I'm going to be live with the zookeepers this weekend, and we're going to like hear the crunch, crunch, crunch. And
how do we communicate that to you? Do we just tell you right now?
I was thinking I could send the little link.
Yeah.
In the event invite. Or
yeah,
does that sound good?
Yeah, that works.
Post it in there, because I think all of you are in there, and then you just go to it. It is a quick form because I really want you to go through it. It's actually a healing process to fill out the form. There's 3 questions, no big whoop. Do that, and then so that's a free thing. That's your Valentine's gift. And then the other thing that I have, that's one of my most popular products, it's called the Love Attraction Toolkit. And it's got over 50 tools that you can use, energetic tools fun things, kind of like what we did today, that you can do in less than 5 minutes. There's several for anger. There's some for manifesting. There's some that you can use for business and money and other things too. That Love Attraction Toolkit is normally $97. And I gave you guys a coupon, which I don't know where, maybe I need to share that in the group too, but there is
if you give it to me, I'll put it in chat.
Okay. Oh, shoot. Now you're making me remember what I made up. All right. Okay. I know what it is. SA, second act, extra love, all caps.
Okay.
But I have to send the link actually, it's also on my website. So if you go on my website, bighappylove.com, if you scroll down a little bit, there's 3 hearts. The middle heart is the toolkit. Do that. Use the coupon. You get 50% off.
It sort of looks like it spells out sextra.
I know. Oh, shoot. That was a close one.
Listen, that's as much sex as I've gotten in 5 years, close to it.
Yeah, well, all right. So you get 50% off sex. And so, okay, what was the other thing? And then if you want to do a consult with me, whether it's for your online profile or coaching or classes coming up, I'm going to do a 30-day class soon. These are really fun things. I'm doing them all the time, where every day we're doing something about opening up to receiving, and there'll be a lot of dating hacks in that. And that'll start probably at the beginning of March, so that we can be lucky in love. And so that 30-day, I mean, Deborah, you've done some 30 days. They're really powerful. I mean, I give you like over 15 hours of coaching and teaching for like $150. So
very good, very fun.
Yeah. So, and everything's recorded. So if you can't make it at that time, no big whoop. So anyway, I know I just gave you a lot of things, and all the business coaches are like, you're not supposed to share more than one thing, right?
It's okay. We're all in business. It's okay.
I really care about this, and I really do believe in a different consciousness. And I know there's so many dating coaches out there and love coaches out there that are just going to give you like, say this, do this, don't do this app or this app. And I'm here to help you find you in this. This is about you, and it's about your person finding you. It's not like some gimmicky thing. I want you to have something that is conscious and meaningful and lasting. And that's different. And like I said at the beginning, you guys, no problem. Even in a pandemic, you could go get takeout margaritas and meet someone on a curb. Like, the dating is not a problem. This is about you being able to know how to do this in a different way. And I really hope that you all felt something different. And so your homework hopefully is that we'll have a conversation, but your homework is 1, that was then, this is now, on the stuff that is old. If you're not sure if it's old, if it feels like, oh, then it probably is. And you can imagine a little bit of, that. So that's step 1. Step 2 is take a love shower, connect energetically with your beloved every day for 30 seconds at least. And that's the beginning. Like, we can take that whole piece even deeper, but that's a place to start, because it's opening up your channels for receiving, and it's wiring you for something greater than you've had before.
Excellent. Well, we want to thank you, Macy. And you should Google her and see the cockroach thing and the meerkat chomping on it. I had to do this while I was watching it, but it was pretty funny. We want to thank you guys all, because we're running a little bit. We're at 7:30. We're not going to close with our traditional close, but we just want to say thank you.